moves.
Hi, thanks for watching. This is Ginger Leigh. I'm talking to Lola Frost, rock and roll flapper of Sweet Soul Burlesque and Vancouver Burlesque Center. Hello, Lola Frost. Thank you for talking to me today.
Oh, Ginger, it's a pleasure.
I loved you last night. You were my favorite.
Oh,
You were incredible. I know this is supposed to be an interview, but I'm going to tell her my feelings. Incredibly strong. I loved your strength on stage.
thank you.
So, you're a trained dancer?
Kind of.
Tell me about.
I used to be a competitive figure skater when I was younger for about 7.5 years. So I took a lot of dance classes, but I've never been trained.
Okay.
But I took it upon myself later in life to train more, if that makes sense.
It's absolutely.
So I took classes to inspire me and to build my vocabulary in the dance world. And I've always just considered myself a dancer. So I'm like, if I believe it, then I will be it.
It shows. It absolutely shows.
Thank you.
So, from there, how did you get into burlesque? What called you?
I think I heard the calling when I was about 8. I told my mom I wanted to be a stripper, and she said, "Honey, whatever you do, do it well, and I'll support you." And I was like, "Mom, for the win!" But later in life, it took me till about 20 to start looking at seeing flyers for shows, and just I was like pulled to it. I knew the word burlesque, I didn't know what it meant, and I just knew that I wanted to do it. And so I finally went to a couple of shows and approached a producer, and I was like, "Hey, can I want to do this?" And he's like, "Yeah, we'll put you on stage." And I'm like, "Is there an audition?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay then." And I went home like, do I own high heels? Do I own any lingerie? And I'm just like, so that, and then did my first show with 2 numbers, and the rest is history. Apparently I did a good job.
Obviously, you did a great job. Thank you. What's the current state of Lola Frost in burlesque right now?
Currently, I'm a member of Sweet Soul Burlesque, and Crystal Precious is one of our members. She just released a really amazing single where she does strip hop called No Pie For You. So we want to do some touring with that. My friend and cohorts Cherry on Top and Burgundy Bricks, we run the Vancouver Burlesque Center.
Okay.
So that's my passion is teaching. I love that feeling. It's not always just teaching people how to do burlesque, but it's movement and sensuality and fitness, So it's in a really empowering way. Obviously, it's what we do. Yeah, and just really trying to own what it means to be in the place that we are. We're in a really important time. I think all time in burlesque is important, but there's a really powerful movement right now where it's big and it's known, and I think the more that we can do positive influence to that's sort of where I'm at.
Absolutely. I love that you teach. I teach as well, and I find it's my most favorite thing.
It saves my life, you know? It takes you so outside of yourself and makes you just evaluate what you're doing, because when you do it naturally, you just go with it. But when you have to break down your own process, you learn. I learn so much from my students.
I do the same. I learn just as much from them. And even when things start coming out of my mouth, I'm like, I need to apply that into my own performing and creating. So what is the future for you in burlesque?
Oh, well, if I can write the future like a magician. I started writing again last year, and that was really amazing. And similar to teaching, when you share that kind of knowledge, it has a huge impact not only on yourself but on other people. And so I want to continue with the writing and touring. I obviously want to travel places and take my clothes off and share my soul and body with as many people as possible. Small towns, big stages, small stages, it's fine. And continue the studio. That's a really incredibly important part, and just be with my troupe. And I want to perform. That's definitely awesome. I'm a lifer.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was there was Friday night, I was just when they started talking about this being our home and our avenue, I was just I'm here forever.
Yeah, I will never stop.
Yeah.
Well, you should put Philly on your list of places to tour and teach.
Yes,
bring them for a workshop.
Awesome, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ginger.
Thank you for watching. I'm Ginger Leigh, and we're out.
Perfect done. Perfect done.
Woo. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
No pie for you.
Trying to make it like you wanna please me.